All right, Shalom. The elect of Israel. To the hopeful elect of Israel. You Hebrew Israelites. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indian Haitians, and the foreign Israelites that are scattered across the four corners of the earth that look like the other nations. First and foremost, we're going to face the east and give all praises to Barak Yahawah, Barak Yahawashi, Barak Yahawah, Barak Yahawashi, Barak Yahawah, Barak Yahawashi. Got to give all praises to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Qadash. Want to give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, who led me to this truth and been ordained by the Lord to teach the flock how to live, repent, pray, fast, and show forth the Lord's righteousness, and mercy, judgment, forgiveness, and wrath to all those who are part of the elect and to the hopeful elect. Lord willing, we'll be part of that number. Lord willing, let's be edifying to those who fear in the name of the Lord and are striving to show forth the Lord's righteousness every day to the best of their ability. His judgment always comes to light. Zephaniah chapter 3, verse 5. And it's not slack. 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 9. So Lord willing, this is edifying to the flock. This is a lesson that was inspired through my studies. And I was listening to Elder Apostle Rawchaa. So Lord willing, this is edifying to the flock. So this is a topic that he went over about a year ago, but it can apply to today. And basically, he was doing a breakdown of Luke chapter 4, when Yahawah was tested by Satan. So I'm going to do a little bit of this, probably have a part 2 of my next pre-camp for this weekend. So Lord willing, is edifying to the flock. So basically, Luke 4 deals with the temptations Yahawashi went through on his 40-day fast. GMS teach. GMS, they always teach. These are basically the words of Apostle Rawchaa. I put in some precepts, but I really wanted to bring it across the same way he did because it was very, very edifying. You know, I don't want to take nothing away from it. I put a few precepts in that he mentioned, and also a couple more that tie into it. And you know, Lord willing, this can refresh some people to understand that in this truth, that we're gonna go through temptation. We're gonna go through things. You know, it ain't gonna ever be a comfortable ride. Because if we live comfortably, then that means basically you're not gonna be ready for Jacob's trouble. It's gonna be an uncomfortable time. So that's why the Lord puts us through trials and tribulations so we can be ready. This is for our good. Lock it. So, you know, GMS, they teach that, you know, Yahawashi was tempted by Satan after the 40 days. But really, if you want to get technical, he was being tempted from the very first day he started fasting. So as soon as he went to the wilderness from day 1, he was being tempted by the devil the whole time, by Satan the whole time. Just like us when we come in this truth. From day 1, when you enter in and you start listening to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, Satan comes immediately and starts tempting you to try to get you out of the truth. immediately. He gonna use whatever he can get. Whoever around you that's not strong in the faith, it could be anybody. You know, there got to be nobody specific. But anybody who's not rooted in this faith, Satan can enter in them at a time to try to get you to go off. Okay, because those vessels who are not the elect, you know, he ultimately has full control over them, and they're going to try to get you to be discouraged. Okay, so we're going to read 2 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 5. So this is 2 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 5. And it reads, examine yourselves, whether ye be in the faith. Prove your own selves. Know ye not your own selves? How that Yahawashi, a Mashiach, the Mashiach means Christ in Paleo-Hebrew, which means the anointed one. And Yahawashi is who everybody calls Jesus Christ, but his name's not Jesus Christ. In Paleo-Hebrew, which is the ancient Hebrew, there's no J's, there's no E's, there's no O's. You know? None of those letters is in there. You know? So that's how we know that they have changed the word of the Lord. Because we sinned against the Lord. He was hot with Israel. So he gave us over to our enemies, and they took our book in 70 AD, and we fled into Africa. And then we're bringing the slavery over here. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68. So it says, how that Yahawashi Mashiach is in you, except ye be reprobates. But I trust that ye shall know that we are not reprobates. Why? Because we're proving to you that we're not. Every day, to the best of our abilities. It's an everyday process. We're going to be in the kingdom forever. We're going to be over there forever dwelling with the Lord. Now, what's the problem with exhorting another one daily? What is the problem with trying to examine yourselves daily? It's not a problem. You know? This is important. This is for our well-being. We don't want to die here. And if we do die, we don't want to die in vain. We want to make sure our sacrifice was sufficient. So when we get to the Lord, he says, man, well done, servant. You really have faith. Here's the kingdom. That's what we're doing this for. You know? So examine yourselves at all times. It is a test to see if you are really in the faith. Because it says those who are really not with us will not continue in this journey. And more temptations are coming for all of Jacob. No one is exempt. Everyone is going to be tested more and more and more as Jacob's trouble comes upon us. You know, it could be being sick, a job, a woman, you know, no water or gas in your house. Yeah. Having things that you're dealing with, you know. different temptations. Okay? These are all different temptations. And there's other ones that can apply, but these are just some things that I know I can exhort about. Why? Because I'm going through them. I've been through them at times in my life. You know, there was a time in my life I went the whole winter without no heat. No heat. Okay? And I was power washing semis the whole time. In the cold. So I was in the cold the whole winter. Okay? That was something that I had to learn and go through. Why? Because I couldn't get through it. I did it. I made it through that. You see? It wasn't easy, but it made me tough. So when these times come across, hey, you know my ass ain't taking no fucking seed. Okay? I'm not taking that shit. I'm ready to die for Yahawashi. And I don't got nothing but two brothers out here, man. Two that really trust in Yahawashi. My elder and the brother next to me. That's it. That's all we got. You know? That's all I got out here. And then I got the brotherhood online, of course. They've always been here for me. It's been more than enough and sufficient for me to get on my feet. You know, it's a blessing to even have some brothers say shalom. You know, it's to really help examine myself and say, hey, I know if they men in the Lord, if those men in the Lord are saying at least shalom, brother, at least shalom, man. I know I'm on the right path. We're supposed to gain acceptance of the brotherhood. Okay? And when you get with a woman, you know, sometimes she might mess up. Sometimes she might go off. Sometimes she might get out of order. Just, you know, they the weaker vessel. We understand, you know, but that's not going to stop us, shalom. That's not going to stop us from going by this scripture, you know. So when people go off, you know, you don't want to, some people, you don't want to, especially like your woman, right? You don't want to go off on her in a way where it's like, oh, you just horrible. No, you're supposed to say, hey, like, this is an order to this, so we don't die in Jacob's trouble. If I ask you to do something, you got to do it. You know, but if we can't even deal with the smallest matters, and something go on, and you can't hear me out and take my word over your word, then we out of order. We both out of order. And the Lord gonna look at that and he gonna say, well, you can't even control your rib. If you can't control your rib and have your house in order, then I'm gonna get destroyed. So it's way bigger than us. You know, this is a system in which is supposed to act as a functioning body. You know, and that's just kind of what the Lord put the Spirit on me to deal with today. You know, we all have an order, and you know, there's ranking. There's definitely ranking. There's men over me, but we just as important, you know, as them. Not saying in the sense of authority. They got more authority of us, but what I mean by importance is that they watch over our souls, okay? They watch over our souls. You know, they're literally risking their lives to try to guide us right, because that's going to blot out their sins. So it's a covering for everyone who gets in their right order. So, you know, and this lesson that I got today is going to kind of show why we can't get mad. We shouldn't be mad. I'm going to break it down. We shouldn't be mad when each one of us go out. We're just supposed to say, hey, man, you know, we're supposed to get out of our feelings. Because it says we're supposed to be like Yahawashi, right? But when he was tempted in the wilderness, Yahawashi did not respond to Satan with emotion. He responded to him with the scriptures. He said, as it is written, Satan, this. So we're going to get down with that. Okay? So Lord willing, this is edifying. So, you know, these temptations are trying to pull us from this truth. Okay? Yahawashi said to Peter that Satan desired to sift us as wheat. Okay? And because Peter, you know, he was one of the lead, he was the lead of the disciples. You know, the Lord chose him to lead the disciples, the 12 disciples. Okay? And that was granted by Yahawashi. Just like today, we're granted by Yahawashi with this truth and come out and lead our people and show them, hey, if we don't do it this way, we're gonna die. Okay, this isn't who's right or who's wrong thing. We got to do by what he said do, or we're not gonna make it. To the best of our abilities, we got to do everything he said do. You know, there ain't no other way. You know, and that's talking to myself first and foremost. We got to do everything he said do. You know, and we're gonna go off. But what did he say do when you go off? Repent and change your ways. It's that simple. And we all gonna go off. That's okay though. That means that he's dealing with us because he's supposed to have godly sorrow. You know? And for the woman, we already know it's hard for you because a lot of the women, you know, it's a blessing that there's women that are shame-faced, you know, because of all the things that the women have done, all the wickedness that they have put in the earth. Okay, starting with Eve, you know, but that don't mean that you just beat your woman down, but it's to keep that reminder of, man, you really need guidance. Just like when I get rebuked from my elders, man, I really need guidance, man. I can't do this on my own. I need somebody to lead me. You know, I need Yahawashi and Yahawashi. You know, so anyways. You know, Satan really tried to get Peter and Yahawashi to go off, especially Yahawashi first and foremost, and the rest of us on down. You know, because if he could get him, he could get Yahawashi to go off, he could get the rest of the body. So that's why he tried so hard to get Yahawashi. And today, we're representations of Yahawashi. So why do you think that this spiritual demon Satan is using these Edomites to get at us day in, day out, day in? Because they're trying to get us to break. Okay? Because we're important. We're not important, but we're important. See what I mean? It's like a balance. We're not important, meaning that if you ain't doing the work, if you just think that you just granted this and you don't have that fear of Yahawashi, and you just think everything gonna be good, you ain't gonna get tested, then he can get rid of you. But if you are sincere and you really care about Yahawashi, and you are one who's desiring to endure to the end, then you're very important. Why? Because we're doing the will of the Heavenly Father and we're carrying out this mission so we get the fuck out of here. So, you know, he also knew Peter was a very important vessel in the ministry. You know, he knew that. So he was like, man, I got to get Peter to go off, man. Because if he go off, everybody who watching him going to go off. You see? All the other disciples going to go off. So everyone in this truth plays an important role. Okay? A very important role in this ministry. You know? So that's why they come at us hard. Because what does he tell his people to do? What did he tell his chosen men to do? What? Feed the sheep. So the sheep are important too. Why? Because we got to have somebody to guide. If there ain't nobody coming around and we ain't got nobody, what the fuck we doing? You know, the Lord said he will bring people to us. He's going to add people to us. If we're not getting stuff added to us, it's not the sheep's fault. It's our fault. You know, we want to be teachers. You know, but we know coming with the part of being a teacher, we are going to be judged more severely. We're going to be tested more severely because we know that at the end of the day, that we're the ones guiding the sheep so we can all, you know, so Yahawashi can work through us to the sheep so we can all wake up fully and do our said measure of servitude, Yahawashi, so we can get out of here. So the woman, you know, there's the man and then the woman. So we're not equal, but at the same time, your servitude is required for his will to be fulfilled. You see, to serve your husband. You know, that's part of the requirements of being part of this body. You know, because there is some brothers out there, you know, it would be a blessing for them to have a woman that really would care for them and grind for them and trust them. You know, it'll make them stronger in the faith and help them fulfill out their measure faster. You know? So it's all just a part of how much really do you love Yahawashi Yahawashi? You know, really, that's really all it comes down to. You know, how much are you willing to sacrifice? You know, because all of us got to make sacrifices in this truth. We all have to make tough decisions, but we got to stay together. You know, all the ones that are in this truth that are sincere. Because if you're really not sincere, eventually you're going to fall out. And that's the one thing that I'm afraid of every day. I don't want to be nobody that fall out. Nah, I'm good. Nah, we working over here. You know, in this house, we're going to serve you Yahawashi Yahawashi. And if you ain't going to be in this house. You see what I'm saying? And that's it. I don't care if I'm in a tent outside. You know, Yahawashi Yahawashi going to be in there. You know? So, so they come at us all hard. Even the parts of the body that don't seem as important. You know? All of us doing the work. They want us not to do the work. And basically, when you come under a man in the truth that is diligent, you become a possession of that man. So basically, everything you do is going to be held accountable to me. I'm going to have to be the one that's going to have to answer to that. You're going to say, well, did you lead your woman right? Did you guide her right? Did you have long suffering? Did you have patience? Did you have mercy? If we can't do that to even our own will and our own flock and our own brothers, then how the Lord is going to be like that towards us? You know? How's it going to be like that? So we got to make sure to check ourselves and know a balance. Sometimes you got to get on people and be like, hey, man, no. But it's got to be a balance of still lifting them up as well. You know, you can't just keep knocking somebody to the ground. You know? And I'm not talking about nobody specific. This is something that I'm paying attention to because the Lord is about to increase me in some ways that, you know, I'm not going to be able to do it without him. I need his understanding and his guidance. Or I'm not going to get through it. So, you know, we're supposed to be men. We're supposed to be fearless. We're supposed to face things that other men that are out here are like, nah, I don't want to deal with that. That's a burden. Well, Yahawashi Yahawashi went through burdens. We're going to go through burdens. So if you're not ready to go through burdens, this ain't the truth for you. It's not for you. You know, and that's to anybody who, you know, comes across my page, you know. Shalom to everybody on the kind of board that comes in. Call Yahawashi Yahawashi, Bahasham, Qadash, Barak, Atham. You know, y'all the beloved people of the Lord. This is why we out here every day. You know, this is love. We care. You know? But we also gonna make sure that we don't go by our own emotions. We go by the doctrine and we go by what is profitable for salvation, not our own selves. So everyone in this truth takes it 144% in their lot, which means their destiny, their portion, because everybody has a portion who has been woken up to this truth. Everybody, even the ones who aren't teaching, there's a portion in a lot that you are to fulfill for Yahawashi Yahawashi, whether it's pleasing this man or just pleasing him by, you know, tithing to the brotherhood. And there's periods of time where if you do what you were told to do, he's going to increase you. Same way with me, same way with everybody else. You know? And that's what we are here for, to be increased at our last end. Because he said, I will increase thee at thy last end. If we make sure that we stick with the simple rules of Yahawashi Yahawashi, stay in order and be ready for temptation. It ain't going to be peaceful all the time. But hey, how you gonna say you love somebody if you're not ready to go through no trials with them? If you're not ready to suffer with them? Yahawashi Yahawashi got beat to a pulp for us. This is our portion. This is what we must go through to receive salvation. So that's why the spirits really work hard to fuck with us. That's why they work real hard. They fuck with us. That's all they do all day. They don't rest unless they cause somebody some oppression. They're the oppressors. That's what they do. So, you know, we know that our righteousness is filthy rags. We know all that, but we're very important. Why? Because we're still trying to become what the Lord told us to become, even though we really ain't shit. You know? We really some fuck ups. You see what I'm saying? And through that, we still trying to come back to the ways of Yahawashi. So it's very important because he needs somebody. He not needs somebody, but he wants to fix us. We need him to fix us. But if we're not here trying to be fixed and trying to do our best, because he said that he will come back and he would fix what else is not in order. But we are to try to do our best to get our own houses in order, starting with ourselves. You know, and that's me first and foremost. You know, so you know, and yeah, I did a couple notes, but I'm not just going just straight off the notes. I just like to take a little bit of notes sometimes to stay on track, to not lose track of my mind, the thought that the Lord had the Spirit on me in that time to prepare for this lesson. So as I was going, it says basically, you know, we filthy rags, but we're important for this ministry. Okay, this is him fixing us. You know, and that's all to the brothers that are truly sincere in their heart. You know, so Apostle Ramlov, he was saying, you know, he's not just talking about the ones that are just in GMS. This is what he said. He ain't just talking about the ones in GMS. He's talking about all the men. He's talking about all the men that are diligently, you know, working and laboring in this truth in sincerity. We're not out here doing this for money. I make my own money. And I don't ask for nobody for no money. I take care of myself as best as I can. You know? And I still give to the brotherhood. Why? Because that's my reasonable service. It's not like I should have to feel like I need to thank you for that. That is what is required. You see what I'm saying? That is required. You know, it says a man who doesn't take care of his own house, especially those in his own household, is an infidel. He's nobody. So this is required to be a servant of the Lord. To be a servant of Yahawashi, it's required that we sacrifice. Period. So we all have something to offer. We all can offer something. There's something that you can give up for Yahawashi. He gave you your body. There's something you can give up. You know, which is our lives. That's Romans chapter 12, verse 1 and 2. So if you hear anyone ever say you have nothing to offer, according to our elders and apostles, if you're sincere and you are working diligently and you are repenting not occasionally, but what's the word I want to use? Repenting, not occasionally, but frequently. That's the word I want to use. If you are repenting frequently and you are checking yourself frequently, then you are and do have something to offer. We're offering it our whole life to this ministry. You know, I'm literally dismembered from all the brotherhood. You know, like physical wise, like I'm scattered in a way where there's no camps out here. Okay, except one, and that's all the way in Oklahoma City. And the only way I can even get there on time is I got the other brother coming all the way from Shawnee just to come pick me up and take me over there. That's all we got over here. And then we got the body. You know, that's all we got. You know, we got to do right by our people. You know, out of all these people in this whole damn state, I ain't seen nobody else really sincere trying to get right with Yahawashi. Okay, I haven't seen it. I don't see nobody doing no videos. I don't see nobody going out on the camp. I don't see nobody do none of that out here. So that's not easy. But you know what? It ain't hard. Why? Because I know Yahawashi got beat the fuck out of for me. So I'm gonna go do it. So like I said, the lesson of this camp was it's dangerous when you realize how much we are capable of as a body, as a whole body. 144,000 elect chosen men, whoever they are, and then the honorable multitude, which are some of the men and some of the men who cling to the body, women and the children. It's going to be mainly women and children. It's going to be a few men that are not in the body, and they clinging to it. They clinging to it, doing what? Everything the elect said to do. He said he's not a respecter of persons. What did he say? Put on as the elect of Yahawah. Put on the elect as your garment. This is our job. And it's more than just our job. This is who we are. We talked about how 500 brothers would go and see Yahawashi at a time. Okay? When he came back from his resurrection. We hope to be one of those brothers. We hope to be one of those men who came across and sat down and listened to the orders of Yahawashi and the lessons and all the things that he told us. Hey, man, y'all better get ready. Y'all finna get tried. You better be ready. You better be men. Because we're going to get tried. Us, the ones who are sincere and trying to teach. Satan be attacking motherfuckers who ain't even in the truth. How much more you think he gonna attack us? He gonna attack the fuck out of us. So we gotta be rooted in this truth. So Elder Apostle Ramloff, he goes on and he just talks about how, you know, we are very needful and very dangerous. If we use everything we got, but we know how Jake do. When Jake wants something, Jake go for that shit. Okay, Jake don't fucking play. Jake want to get that damn car or something. Hey, Jake work his fucking ass off of that car. So what happens when you think when a real sincere Jake wants the universe and wants you how about to accept it? Jake gonna go hard as fuck. That's what Jake do. We don't fucking sit down. We don't fucking give up. And we don't quit on the ones that we love. And ultimately, we love all of Israel. But 2/3 have been written to go against us. But that don't mean we don't love them. In the end, they're going to be our children, Lord willing. But what happens when your children disobey? They got to be punished. You know, like when you spank your kid, you don't want to spank them. But ultimately, you got to. Why? Because they ain't going to learn unless they what? They suffer. That's why Esau Edom took that shit out of the laws. So kids can just be bad as fuck and nothing happened to them. And they just keep getting wicked until the Lord judge their ass. So this is the way, this is really what our Lord, Yahawashi went through. Okay? And everything else, because he was the most important element in this truth. He's literally the words we're reading out of this book on a daily basis. That's how we're supping with it. That's why I say, eat my flesh. You know, this is his flesh, this words. He is our mediator and our lawyer. You know, he's the one who really defends us in these tough times. You know, he's the only reason we have access to the Ancient of Days, Yahawah. So we can't do this without him. You know, through his sacrifice. You know, and that's why these demons, they come at us. And they're going to keep coming at us. They're going to stay coming at us. That's okay. He said he will never put you through nothing that you can't handle. He said he won't put you nothing too hard for thee. And that's talking about the elect. Lord willing, we part of that number. But until we come out and we find out and he judged me for whatever I did last time, I'm going to do what he said do. Period. There ain't no option. There ain't no room for nothing else here. It's either that or death. So, you know, it's really our destiny to fulfill the measure that he has called us to fulfill. And that's the whole body is the elect, the 33% of our people. So the women got to fulfill their measure. You know, whatever level that is, they have to feel it. The men who aren't teaching have to fulfill it. The men that's all teaching have to fulfill it. The whole body got to be fully downloaded for him to initiate Jacob's trouble. So as long as we're waiting on you to get your shit together, and that's me talking to myself, as long as it takes for me to get my shit together, that's why I'm doing lessons every day. Because that's as best as I can do. At least a video every day. Because then that'll show the Lord that, hey, I put forth my will and my power and my might every day to try to show that, hey, this comes first. Period. This comes first. I come out here and stand for 2-3 hours and then go to the plantation and let them do whatever the fuck they do. Fucking have me doing all this bullshit. Whatever the fuck they want me to do. That's cool. It's just to get my portion so I can feed my family and get the fuck back out here and serve Yahawashi, Yahawashi. Don't nothing else matter. That's it. And of course you want to spend time with your loved ones. But you know what we're going to do? You know what we're going to do when we get together? Hey, we're going to stick to the script. We're going to stick to this word. And we're going to have a time when we sit down and say, hey, these are the things Yahawashi, Yahawashi is telling me to bring to my family today. And then if we want to do something extra, if we got time, you know, we want to go bowling or something as a family, we want to do this as a family, cool. I'm with that. But we're going to put Yahawashi, Yahawashi first. We're going to put him first. That's it. You know, we don't got no other choice. And we're going to live together as a family and make it out and be resurrected and be saved, but we're going to die as a family together. That's love. You know, but Lord willing, if anybody got to die, it's just me. And then my family can get out of here. But I want to be saved too, of course. But if it comes down to it, this is what we're doing this for. We laying down our lives for the elect. If we not part of that number, you know, but we really hope to be, man. And I expect the Lord to do at least something for me. If I die in this faith, hey, I'm gonna be expecting the Lord to come get me if I stick with this. And that's why I'm doing it. You gotta have some expectation. He said that his words will not fail. So what are you worried about? Shouldn't be worried. As long as his work's being done and put first, hey, there ain't nothing else to worry about. So once, like I said, we all get sealed, and we all come to the exact measurement that he wanted us to do over a specific time, it's over for this fucking place. It's going down. That's it. You know? And these devils, they're gonna act subtle. You know? They're gonna act subtle. And they're gonna respond to us, you know, in a way like we're not important, because they want to keep us asleep. They don't want us to know that we're really making effect on the planet doing this. They don't want us to know. They want us to make us feel like, all that time you've been teaching, ain't shit changed. You still struggling. You still going through shit. And those are the ones, like it says in Matthew, endure that shit to the end. Because when Jacob's trouble will come here, hey, the spirit world gonna connect with the ground on this motherfucker. And everybody in this motherfucker gonna know who the Lord dealing with. And I pray it's me. Because if it's me, if he give me some spiritual powers, hey, everybody with me, we good. If not, hey, it is what it is. But I'm not expecting that. Why? Because I'm out here doing the work. So I'm not going to expect that. That's where our faith comes in. He said if we do these things, we shall not fail. He said he will deliver us. In the end, he's going to get us out of here. You know? We are in that time. where it's really just about faith. So this Elder Apostle Ramla was talking about this a year ago. All we really got is our faith left. All we got is Yahawashi wait. During that time, we're going to learn the details and the plays and the routes that he said that we should go in the spirit. You know? It's very important how we react to each other in this truth and how we react to these bitch-ass niggas in the world, these punk-ass fucking feminized-ass men who are fucking pussies, okay? You can't be nice all the fucking time. Sometimes we got to put our fucking foot down and say, hey, you're on some fucking bullshit. But if it's not that serious, then we can come in a different way. We can come in a humble way and understand that this is the Lord letting Satan sift through you and test to see, you know, how humble you really are, how you react in certain situations. Are you going to just freak the fuck out? It says not to be a lion in your house to your family. You're not supposed to freak the fuck out. You're supposed to say, hey, you got to listen to what I'm saying. And if you do that, hey, you do that, your family still don't listen to you and go off and do some other shit and be like, fuck you. Hey, pray to Yahawashi and wait and watch what he do. That's all I'm saying. I already got first examples of it, okay, that I don't even want to talk about because that's other men's matters. But hey, just pray to Yahawashi and watch what he fuck up. Because Lord ain't no game. Okay? He's not here to play around. Okay? And neither am I. I'm not here to fucking play with nobody. Okay? We're here to exalt the name of Yahawashi and we're gonna get the fuck out of here, Lord willing. That's all I want. So this is 1 John chapter 3, verse 1. You gotta have that spirit of most of the people on the earth are not gonna like you. They're not gonna like us. They don't like how we come in when we have an austere look and we have that we're not fucking playing with you look, that spirit. They don't like that shit. Why? Because the Lord said they was gonna hate us. But ultimately we're here to be the next rulers of the world and the universe. We're gonna be leading millions of people. Okay, we ain't got no time to be like feeling some type of way about these motherfuckers who ain't even serving the Lord. So 1 John chapter 3 verse 1, and it reads, behold, what manner of love the Father has bestowed upon us, this truth, that we should be called the sons of power, Yasharallah. Therefore, the world knoweth us not, because it know him not. They don't know Yahawashi. So that's why they looking at us like we the fucking problem. They looking at us like we the one causing commotion. No, we're supposed to be your next rulers. We need that respect from our people. Just like I give my respect to the elders and apostles. I look at them like they Yahawashi in fear and trembling. I don't want them to say nothing wrong about me. Period. If they do, hey, I'm gonna get my shit right. That's the kind of attitude that we need to have. You know? To the men over us. Okay, and that's to the women too. You need to have that fear. Because you might have a loving husband like me. I'm a loving husband. But you still need to instill that fear to know, hey, man, just because I don't get mad at you don't mean the Lord ain't get mad at you. And that's how big a deal this is. Just because I don't show no anger and just I turn my head and go, oh damn, man, you fucking up. And try to explain to you in a more humble tone, don't mean the Lord looking at that way either. But it also says that when your brother messes up, it says for you to go to your brother in private and say, hey, you went off. You did this. Now if they just keep going off, they do it again, then you like, what the fuck? I told you last time you're supposed to be taking out the trash at this fucking time. Why the fuck am I telling you again? You know, that's how the Lord is with us, especially his teachers. The ones who's teaching and guiding the flock, he's extra hard on us. That's just how it is. We have a very, very big responsibility. So the only reason why we are being called Yahawah, the sons of the living power, is because Yahawashi, he adopted us. We were orphans. He adopted us and put us into this truth when we were nobody out here. You know, most people don't understand what adoption means in the Bible. So we're going to go to Romans chapter 8, verse 15. Okay, we got to do it like this because if you're someone who is easily to get proud, the devil will fuck you off and have you going against your own people, and you be out here back in the fucking world thinking you in the truth. We don't want that. We do not want that shit. Okay, we do not want that fucking problem. Okay, and this is just to anybody. Period. I'm not talking to just one person. This is also something that's for me too. Okay, anything that I'm saying come across, hey, it's like this as a teacher. If I'm not doing that shit, hey, Lord gonna fuck me up. You know, the shit's scary being a teacher, man. But it says come with no fear. And through that is what? Through experience, through trial, through suffering. It ain't no other way, no pain, no gain, as they say. So Romans chapter 8, verse 15, and it reads, for ye have not received the spirit of bondage again to fear, but ye have received the spirit of adoption, whereby we cry, Abba, Father. We cry out to Yahawah on these highways and these streets, for the blood of our people is all over the place. You know, there had to be at a point in time right here where I'm standing at, Jake was getting slain right here. And these fucking Edomites don't think it doesn't have a cause. This has a cause. So the Strong's definition for that word, adoption, and how you say it is agapesia, because I believe how you say it. But it says the placing as a son, i.e., adoption, figuratively. And it says Christian, but it's basically how you say that is a Mashiachian. Sonship, in respect of power. See, it's in the respect of the Father. This is his will. Adoption of children, of sons. But it says that I call sons and daughters to fulfill his will. So it's talking about all the people who Yahawah is dealing with in this truth, who have came to this truth. We are all called to do specific measures. You know, the Lord willing, I hope this is edifying to somebody. I really hope it is. You know, because the Lord is so serious, he can make you do a video just for one person. That's how much we love Israel. We don't need a father. We don't need everybody's recognition, especially the so-called white man. The only people that we need is the brotherhood. If the brotherhood say, hey, Shalom, you did a great lesson. Hey, man, that make my heart full of joy. So I'm like, man, hell yeah. I'm so glad that they see that I give a fuck. And that's all that matters at the end of the day. know? That's all that matters. Is if we are connected with the governing body of Yahawah Shem Yahawashi, we not, hey, we finna perish out here, man. Lord ain't gonna help us out. You know? And that's what we want. We want the Lord's help ultimately through all things. This is Romans chapter 8, verse 23. And let's start at verse 22. And it reads, for we know that the whole creation groaneth and travaileth in pain together until now, still to this day. And not only they, but ourselves also, which have the first fruits of the Spirit. Even we ourselves groan within ourselves, waiting for the adoption, to wit, the redemption of our body. And that's what we're waiting on. We're waiting on Yahawah Shem Yahawashi to take us out of this fucking hell. We're all going through hell here. We're going to go to Romans chapter 9, verse 4. Romans chapter 9. Let's start at 3. Let's start at 1. Say, the truth in the Mashiach, I lied not. My conscience also bearing me witness to the Holy Spirit, which is the Qadash, that I have great heaviness and continual sorrow in my heart. Talk about how it's better to be in the house of mourning than the house of miracle party. You know, like Bishop today on them out there doing damn fucking Passover drag queen shows. You know, I'm not saying that they the alphabet group, but that's what they look like to the Lord, like a bunch of fucking females. Verse 3, and it reads, for I wish that myself were accursed from a Mashiach for my brethren, my kinsmen, according to the flesh, who are Israelites, to whom pertaineth the adoption, and the glory, and the covenants, and the giving of the law, and the service of power, which is Yahawah, and the promises, whose are the fathers, and of whom as concerning the flesh, Hamashiach came, who is over all. Power be blessed, power blessed forever. Amen. Verse 6, this is very important. Verse 6, not as though the word of power have taken none effect, for they are not all Israel, which are of Israel. 2/3 of our people don't give a fuck about Yahawah Shem Yahawashi. So what does that mean? We got to give a fuck about Yahawah Shem Yahawashi 144% to pick up the fucking mess they made. Because they want to act like some little fucking kids. But it was ultimately their lot to do that. Why? Because they crucified him. So this is what they're getting. They're getting what they deserve. So like I said, there was a time we were orphans. A falling away had to happen at first before the son of the son of man, not the son of man, but the son of the wicked be fulfilled. the son of perdition, which means to be put to death. This is his sentencing. We're sentencing him to death. And after we get out of court, hey, this fucking place is done. You know? And then you got the jury, which is what? The hopeful, the honorable multitude of people who agree with the governing body and say, yep, this motherfucker got to pay for what he did. And the Lord say, all right, execute judgment. You know, and then we had to go through this because we turned our back on him. You know, so Yahawashi came back to turn us back in his favor. And his father, which is our father. You know, Isaiah chapter 55, verse 5. So just because you're not somebody teaching the truth doesn't mean that you're not important. It just means that that's not your lot to teach. But those teachers, the Lord says, hey, if you treat my sheep like they ain't shit, and you walk all over them, and you be a tyrant unto them, I ain't gonna accept your sacrifice. I'm not gonna give a fuck about you. Those are my people. I shed my blood for them. He shed his blood for you. You think he don't give a fuck about you? He gives a fuck. Everybody on that list that's part of that honorable multitude, the Lord gives a fuck about. They don't have ranking like the 144,000 elect. But hey, those are the first fruits of the people. You know, those are the people who believed in those first fruits. The 144,000 men, the ones who cling to the body. You know, they're very important. Without them, then who are we to teach? If we're the elect, who are we to govern? Who are we to rule and show? You know, look what the Lord empowered us with. Look what he gave us. Look at all these fucking slaves. You know, this is all part of his plan. You know, and there ain't nobody in it that's not important. But there is rank. Why? So we can be perfectly in order. It said it was a path so narrow, so there was water on one side, fire on the other side. That only one man can fit through at once. So what else is with that man when he fit through that one gate? His possessions that he has on this side. So Isaiah chapter 55, verse 5. So these women out here talking about they don't want to be possessed by a man of the Lord. They don't want to listen to what we got to say. All right, well, when Esau either start eating your fucking ass, or he start grilling your fucking ass, or a big ass bear start eating your fucking ass, Lord ain't gonna come save your ass. This shit ain't no fucking game. You know? And that's to those women out there who are not trying to get in order. I ain't talking about the ones trying to get in order. We know y'all gonna go off. Y'all the weaker vessel. We're not mad at you. Okay? We're not mad at you. Not those women. You know, we love our women. King Solomon, which we know is Yahawashi, he had 700 wives and 300 concubines. You don't think he loved them women? He loved them women. Of course, he said, hey, man, I had 1,000 of them and only out of 1,000 men, only one would do right, but ain't none of my damn women would do right. Ain't none of them. That don't mean he ain't love them. He still loved them. You know? But I want to bring out a real good point pretty soon that's gonna tie into all of this. Why we shouldn't be mad, you know, and try to take revenge or have anger when people go off. This is part of the test. So Isaiah chapter 55, verse 5. It's the test to see, do you really deserve to have a family? Because we're basically Bahasham Yahawashi's bride, his family. If he ain't forgive us when we was going off all the fucking time and was patient with us, then he wouldn't deserve to be able to have us as his people. See? That's why he made it like this. That's why the Lord set it up like this. So it wouldn't be no excuse for the ones who don't do what he did. So Isaiah chapter 55, verse 5, it says, behold, thou shalt call a nation that thou knowest not, and nations that knew not thee shall run unto thee because of the Lord thy power, Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, and for the Holy One of Israel, for he hath glorified thee. Verse 6, seek ye the Lord while he may be found, call ye upon him while he is near. Let the wicked forsake his way, and the unrighteous man his thoughts. See, he ain't even talking about action, our thoughts. It starts with our thoughts. And if he has thoughts of peace towards us, from us fucking up all the time, we always be fucking up some way, you know, just based off our thoughts. Sometimes we doubt, you know, even though we got all these powerful words, sometimes we doubt, you know. But what did he say? I still have thoughts of peace towards you and not of wrath, so you can have an expected end. We expect Yahawah Yahawashi to come get us. That doesn't mean that that doesn't mean that our flesh sometimes won't trouble us. It will. And if your flesh ain't troubling you and you just comfortable all the time, there's something wrong. So continue in verse 7, and let him return unto the Lord, and he will have mercy upon him, and to our power, for he will abundantly pardon. See? So how we think about it is like, man, we done fucked up so much, man. Fuck. He really gonna come get us? Sometimes we feel like that. Sometimes we fuck up so bad, we be like, fuck, man. The Lord really gonna come out here and get us? You know? Not saying them, but am I really part of the land? Am I just doing this just to be cast out, die? Am I just a retrobate? Sometimes brothers think that, you know? And I'm not saying that right now I'm thinking that. I'm just saying when I first came into truth, I had those thoughts all the time because I was rebuked by an elder, you know, and I was cast out of the flock. They say you can't ever come back. Okay, but ultimately it's up to the Lord. If he decides me to come back, then I'll come back into the flock. If not, then not. But GMS always talks about how you don't have to be in GMS to be in the truth. As long as you repent, convert, you put Yahawah Yahawashi first, hey, he's going to take care of you. Okay, he's going to put you in your desired lot that you were supposed to be in, that you were in since the dawn of time, Daniel 7:10. And how do we know this? Verse 8, and it reads, for my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, saith the Lord. Verse 9, for as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are many ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts. So we don't got to worry. As long as we stick to the script, and we trust in Yahawah Yahawashi, and we be humble and meek, and know that, hey, we fuck up. But if we go back to the first fruits, the first works, and try to be the elect to the best of our abilities, that's all we can do, man. But I'm telling you, it's going to pay off. It's impossible for it not to. These are the words of the Lord. You know? These are the words of the Lord. They are not going to fail. He said not one thing is going to fail. Everything going to come to pass. We just want to be in those scriptures where he said, my faithful and true servants. Because the men who are on the highways and byways, we servants too. But if you are a wife to one of them, or a clinger, or one that clings to one of them, and you serve them, what is that? That makes you a servant too. We all serving Yahawah Yahawashi somewhere, you know? We all servants, you know. And some servants have been bestowed higher responsibilities. So what does that mean? They're going to be judged more severely and punished more severely if they go off. So you got these people like Sakari, these people trying to be in high position and prominent positions at a young age. And oh man, I'm scared for them. I'm scared for them brothers. Okay, because they don't understand what they're getting themselves into. Okay. They don't understand. So hold on, bear with me. And so, you know, as he was going on in this lesson, he was basically saying the world doesn't pay us any attention, you know, because they don't understand the plans of the Heavenly Father. They don't understand the Lord. They don't understand Yahawah and Yahawashi. This is 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 3. You know, usually, like, especially when I do my own lessons, I never write notes. I always just write down the precepts that I want to go over. But this is like a tribute, basically. This is like a tribute camp to the elders and apostles, because this lesson was very, very edifying. So this time I took notes. I know we're not supposed to all the time, you know, but you know, I did add some stuff to it, you know, to kind of help further edify. But I'm not gonna act like I didn't get it from them. Okay, I'm not gonna act like this isn't the Luke chapter 4 breakdown from Elder Apostle Rawchaa, because that's what I got it from. You know, and I even heard him say one time. He said, you know, because I was listening to him, he said, you know, because when I first started out, I wasn't even doing my own lessons. I was literally saying, I got this from this brother, and was literally filtering in a couple of my scriptures and then doing a lesson. And he said that, see, he said no, it's not just, you know, you giving them credit, and we know, but it's also you. You know, he was saying that the Lord put the spirit on you to do that. But you know, for somebody like me, you know, I don't really think highly of myself now. Okay, I really don't. Okay, I really don't think myself highly at all. So I'm still getting, you know, with that understanding of that I am putting forth the work, but at the same time, like, I look at it like I wouldn't even be able to do this without Yahawah and the brotherhood. So, you know, all credit goes to them, man. You know, I'd rather have it like that until the Lord actually show me who I am. You know, I'm too scared to even think of myself as anything. You know, why? Because I done messed up so much in my life. You know, I've never been successful in this world. And then coming into the brotherhood, you know, I wasn't, you know, I didn't start off so well. You know, started off out of order, got refused. You know, so I'm still being built up. That don't mean I'm not gonna try my best. I'm always try my best. This is 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 3. So 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 3, and it reads, but if our gospel be hid, it is hid to them that are lost, in whom the God of this world, and when it says God, it's a lowercase God, have blinded the minds of them which believe not, lest the light of the glorious gospel of a Mashiach, who is the image of power, should shine unto them. See, he shined us down this light to this truth on us. You know, we got to take this with all consideration and humbleness. You know, because he can take it away at any time. We could be out here like the rest of these people, lost. So, you know, so the reason anybody really comes against this truth is because those demons have free reign over those people, over those vessels. You know, because they are not part of the elect, which is basically the sons of man, which are the 16 other nations, and then the sons of the wicked, which is Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. The devil has full reign and control over those people, and he uses those vessels to get at us, to have us, to cause us doubt in our minds that the Lord's not dealing with us. That's the battle. You know? So, you know, just like he said, you can't serve Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, and Mammon. Okay? There's no in between on one side or the other. So if you're not serving Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Satan can have control of you. Period. But for the ones that were already chosen to be a part of the elect, the Lord's always had them through their transgressions and through them coming back to the truth. He's always had those chosen people. And that's how we know there ain't no free will. You can't have free will and predestination at the same time. So, you know, it's basically a guilty by association. And we want to be, you know, one of those people who are guilty by association to being with the brotherhood. And you can count me guilty for clinging to the body and get put to death for that. I'm fine with that. You know? But Lord willing, we get saved out of here. So, you know, and it's not like the ones on Satan's side, it's not like they had a choice to choose, okay? Like they get put over there whether they decide or not, you know, by the Lord. You know, Satan uses the vessels to distract us, you know, and, you know, basically to fight against this word. That's all they're meant for, to fight against this truth. And you know how it says in Proverbs chapter 11, verse 1, a false balance is an abomination to the Lord. So a false balance is, you know, like you can't have love and no hate. You can't have hot and no cold. You know, you can't have weak and strong. Everything is set up to balance itself to make the world that we live in this prison for Israel. Okay, in America, Babylon the Great is maximum security. Okay, we don't get no rest. Okay, while we not at work, we at the house sitting here barely surviving, barely making it by, just enough to get some wine, while Esau Edom driving around his nice ass cars, bumping his music, acting like he the shit, fucking driving around with all his money, saying, "Oh well, you better be ready to come back to work tomorrow, so you can be my slave." You know, that's how they think. Okay, and they don't act like it, and they don't even mean to do it, but that's their lot. So why are we mad at them? It said, "Envy not the oppressor," right? Envy not the oppressor, and taking none of his ways. Let his bitch ass do what he gonna do. We're gonna focus on Israel, and we're gonna focus on ourselves. They want to be fucking weirdos or whatever, do it. But you come around here, if you come around here trying to be like that towards me, And all I'm doing is not being angry about it and being a man about it and filtering it in scriptures. Lord's gonna fuck their ass up. Lord's gonna bring them some strife. Okay? We gotta let him handle that shit. Let them handle them fucking weak ass motherfuckers. Because they ain't strong, because they don't got no spirit. They wouldn't survive a day in our fucking shoes. They ain't shit. That's why Lord said they're nothing. They're fucking drop of water. Drop out of a bucket of water. Okay? So we're going to do 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 12. So that's just one thing to remember. If you're a woman in this truth, don't think you ain't worth nothing. Those motherfuckers ain't worth nothing. Okay? He specifically made you to be an aid for a man. That's a very important position. Better you to be that than be our enemy. Esau, he was old crusty ass. He finna get fucking fried. Second Timothy chapter 3, verse 12. Second Timothy chapter 3, verse 12. And it reads, yea, and all that will live godly in the Mashiach Yahawashi shall suffer persecution. See, we're going to suffer persecution. But what's going to happen to everybody else? It says, but evil men and seducers shall wax worse and worse, deceiving and being deceived. That's what's going to happen to these people. They're going to keep deceiving each other. They're going to keep thinking they're the shit. They're going to keep thinking they're worth something. So this place gets blown the fuck up after they're going around eating each other and shit. What does it say? Even though they doing all that bullshit, verse 14, but continue thou in the things which thou hast learned and hast been assured of, knowing of whom thou hast learned them, and that from a child thou hast known the holy scriptures, which are able to make thee wise unto salvation through faith, which is in Mashiach Yahawashi. That's the whole point of this. It's for us to be saved. We're not doing this for vainglory. We're not doing this for ourselves. We're not doing this to be recognized, okay, by man. We're doing this to be recognized by Yahawashi. So why do you think when the brotherhood says, hey, little bro, you fucking up, why we get scared? Because Yahawashi is speaking through them to us. So we ultimately serving Yahawashi by taking heed to those men, which is great millstone. You know, starting with the first 4 spiritual fathers, and then you had the 7, but the 7 started going off. And when you listen to Apostle Hart, I posted it. He did a little deeper understanding of it. You should go watch it. Very edifying. But he kind of talks about how he showed them where they were going off, and he had to pick up where they left off. He didn't say that, oh, well, I'm taking over them or nothing. He didn't say that. He just said that he picking up where they left off in the truth. Okay, and all them other people started going for vain money and filthy lucre. They wanted money. You see? It's all about humbleness, you know, and being honest where you get your information from. Okay, this has got to make it's got to show, you know, a record of where you got your stuff from. That's why we do what? We always say double honors to the elders and apostles, great millstone. But don't be going out of order and trying to be something that the Lord ain't tell you to be. You know, we the prophets. We're supposed to be saying double honors. We're supposed to be doing that. We're supposed to be doing all that. That's our job. Okay? That's our job as men. What's the woman's job? To obey her husband love her husband, and whatever he say do it. Because ultimately, he's telling you to do it so Yahawashi won't jack your ass up. Because he will jack your ass up. Okay? If you fucking with one of his men. Okay? And that's even starting with what? Your thoughts. You can't think no ill will towards none of his men. And that's even myself. You can't think no ill will towards nobody in the truth. It don't matter if they start bugging out or not. It don't matter. We're not to think ill will. We're supposed to go according to the scripture. We're supposed to say they fucking up, and if they keep fucking up, avoid their ass. It didn't say hate their ass or think ill will towards them. It said avoid their ass. So they start acting like they fucking brain working because Yahawashi wanted to work. That's the best way that we can stay out of the wrath of the Lord. Not being in other man's matters and feeling some type of way because they're fucking off. That's what he got to deal with the Heavenly Father. We ain't worried about that. But what we do is gonna do what? We're gonna exhort them of their wickedness and tell them, hey, this is going on. Because if we don't do that, then it's gonna be held accountable to us. You know? What kind of teacher don't teach? You know? You know? So going on, there's a constant examination that we remain unspotted from this world. Okay? Even though we say we are part of the whole full leg, you know, even though we say we're part of the whole full leg, and why do we say that? Because it says in the scriptures, 2 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 12. We'll read it real quick. Let's go ahead and get it. But you know, somebody might come across this that don't know. 14:9. Okay. And this is another way to show that Great Millstone got to be the people of the Lord. They're the only ones who's following this rule right here. Okay, this law. Everybody else trying to say they part of the elect already. You know, this should be more than enough proof to show that General Yahanna and all them other camps, Bishop Nathaniel riding on them damn horses, they think they part of the elect already. They part of no fucking elect. Fucking bird brain ass niggas. 2 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 12. So 2 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 12. And it reads, for we dare not make ourselves of the number, or compare ourselves with some that commend themselves. See, we're not even supposed to compare ourselves to nobody. We're supposed to be worried about us and take care of our shit. And if the Lord puts the spirits on us to say, hey, brother, you need to do this, then do it. Most of the time, the Lord don't put the spirit on me to do that to a whole lot of brothers. I'm doing the truth. I'm listening to my big brothers, making sure I ain't going on. But they, measuring themselves by themselves and comparing themselves among themselves, are not wise. See, we're not comparing ourselves as like, oh, we did this good, we're gonna make it. We don't do that. You know, we don't do that over here. We ain't doing no comparisons against ourselves or anybody else. We check ourselves daily to make sure we stand on the right road. We check ourselves daily to make sure we're not in other men's affairs. We check ourselves daily to make sure we edifying the flock correctly and edifying our people. You know, that's what we check on a regular basis. You know, And I don't try to say, well, I've been doing good for so long. That don't matter. That don't mean shit. Lord can blot all that shit out tomorrow. So, as we can see, we don't need to compare nothing. We don't make no comparisons other than the difference between us and these wicked motherfuckers out here and how we're not taking in none of their ways to the best of our abilities. Only Yahawashi can have us in that spirit to be in none of their ways. Okay? So, you know, this is why we know why these demons fuck with us constantly on all four sides. Okay? You know, they try to fuck with us physically, spiritually, emotionally. You know, they try to fuck with us in those ways. You know? Or it'll jump inside of other people to fuck with you. You see? And it could be some of your own people that you care about. Goes to Psalms chapter 26, verse 2. And you know, sometimes it's good to do, you know, long epistles. Sometimes it's good to do shorter ones. But I look at it like this: like, if you're not in this for the long run, you ain't gonna make it anyway. You know, I wouldn't have learned half the stuff that I would have learned if I would have looked at a lesson and was like, oh, this lesson 4 hours long. I don't want to learn that. Hey, if you can't listen to the whole 4-hour lesson, just do it in segments and get it done. You know, listen to an hour a day. 4 days, you got that lesson. You know, we know everybody don't got 4 hours of their life all the time. We're in captivity, but balance it out. You know, I'm not expecting nobody to, you know, be here all the time when we making videos. Everybody got stuff going on, but it'll be there for the time being until the famine of the word. And it might be something in that lesson that really, really gives you an understanding. And the Lord don't allow you to hear it until that right time. So it's just all about doing the work, planting that seed. It might take a week to grow for that person. It might take a month for that person for that seed to hit them. You know? It's all just about, you know, we love to flock so much. Like I said, we out here to make sure you get everything that we can give you that we know. So Psalm chapter 26, verse 2, and it reads, examine me, O Lord, and prove me, try my reins and my heart. For my loving kindness is before thy loving kindness is before thine eyes, and I have walked in thy truth. And that's what matters, man. You know, this is loving kindness to the Lord that he brings us out of darkness. You know, when I'm with the brotherhood, when I'm with my elder, we talk about Yahawashi all day. We'll be over there 5 hours talking about Yahawashi all day. And all the things that he's got in store for us, the things that we're dealing with, the problems that we're going through. Man, on Sunday when I went to camp, man, I only get about an hour or so before I got to go to the plantation. And I was like, man, I wish I could have got to stay, because it's just that feeling with when I'm with the brotherhood. Just a few brothers that I got out here. It's like almost like all the problems of the world go away. All the problems, and I don't feel them no more. You know, and Lord willing, you know, I got a couple days off. In the next couple days, I can try to get with at least one of the brothers. And it's actually some other couple people out here waking up. And I'm about to try to see, if I'm gonna shed a little bit of light to them, and Lord willing, they'll come to the truth. But I gotta test them spirits first. But the first way to test it is, do you believe in the Bible? Who is your father? Those are the first two. And then there's other things. But this is part of the trial. This is basically the doyougivaafuck.com trial. Like, this is what this is. Do you give a fuck about Yahawashi? And a lot of people gonna fail more than pass. These are the things we must go through. And there's different levels to this truth. There's different levels. What I learned from my elder, he said there's 3 levels to this truth. He said there's wisdom, there's knowledge, and there's understanding. So when you first go into, oh man, hold on, my phone down. So when you first go, if my phone's dying and I don't got my charger, so I'm gonna have to close this one short, but I want to finish it off with this. So he said that wisdom basically is you coming to this truth. And then knowledge is what? Obtaining a lot of wisdom. And then understanding is what? Knowing what you're a part of and knowing your role. Understanding what we must face in this truth. And basically, in this next part 2, I'm basically going to go into talking about how we are subject to vanity. We're subject to this vain earth, but not willingly. We didn't want to leave. We didn't want to leave Yahawashi in the heavens. We were in order. We had to do this for his will. So don't be mad. This is what he wanted us to do. We're doing what he wanted us to do. What? Suffer for him to get into the kingdom of heaven. The kingdom of Yahawashi. So, that's why I said take it with all joy. Because you got some people out here, they suffering just to wake up into slavery and to be tributaries to us forever. We ain't got nothing to worry about. We good. So want to face the east and give all praise to Barak, Yahawah, Barak, Yahawashi, Barak, Yahawah, Barak, Yahawashi. Got to give all praise to Yahawah, Bahasham, Qadash. Want to give double honors to the elders and apostles of the great millstone. Led me to this truth. Been ordained by the Lord to teach the flock how to live, repent, pray, fast, and so forth the Lord's righteousness every day to the best of their abilities. The judgment always comes to light. Chapter 9, chapter 3, verse 5, and it's not slack. 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 9. The water for tuning in, everybody who comes in and that's here with me as well, that's always been here with me. Hey, you got my heart. You got my heart, sister. Love, you got my heart. Okay? You got my heart. But hey, like I said, ball. Gotta go charge my phone and stuff, get my stuff together. Gotta go to the plantation in a couple hours. Hey, I'll be back out here tomorrow, Lord willing. We can finish the rest of this lesson. So Shalom, ball. Stay tuned in, and Lord willing, we'll be able to exalt the name of Yahawah another day. Shalom.